joined by Jim Wilson, who's the director of the new drama 50 to 1. Jim, first and foremost, how are you? And thanks for taking some time out of your day to visit with us.
No, it's a good day. I'm down in Los Angeles. The sun is shining, and just happy to be on. And love to talk to Wyoming. That's fun. I've enjoyed my time up there, and every year I try to make it up. So that's good.
Is that right? Where in Wyoming about?
All over. I tell you, it's. I started as a kid, really backpacking into the Wind River Range.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm from.
And I've got friends who live up in Sheridan, and so whether it's, I make that trek. So it's. I love to fly fish, and there's just some great rivers and streams up there.
Outstanding. That's really fun. Love the Southern California area as well, especially in the winter here in Wyoming. Jim, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am for this movie 50 to 1. My wife and I were at the theater watching previews a few weeks ago. First preview I saw of 50 to 1 came on. I turned to her and I said, we have to go to this movie. I imagine you guys are a lot more excited than I am, but I cannot wait to see this movie.
Well, maybe not. No, listen, I'm happy you are. It's for us the film's a bit of a romp. It's some of the other horse pictures, I call them golden halo films, and they get a little wrapped up in the drama of it all. This is just a romp. It's a lot of fun. As you see it, there's some great comedy in it. It's fun, and you don't have to be a horse owner to enjoy it. It's for all those underdogs in us. It's 50 to 1 for a reason. So we had a great time making it. You can tell when you see it.
The story about Mind That Bird, the 2009 Kentucky Derby winner, a long shot. Why did you pick this race, this horse? What's so special about this story?
Good question. I've raced horses. I've had a barn down here, mostly in Southern California, for over 20 years. So, horse racing's in my blood. And as a kid, I loved watching them and thought when I could first afford a piece of a horse, I'd jump in on a little partnership. So it grabbed me. So for the last 20 years, I've been looking for a great story. And when I watched that 2009 Derby, I was just sitting at home like a lot of people are on their couch having a beer. But I watched this race, and I saw this little horse get pretty well mangled at the beginning and fall 30 lengths back off my TV screen and then come flying up in the fastest quarter-mile run at the track. And I said, wow, this horse didn't just beat them by a nose. He destroyed the field. And this is a world-class field. So just visually as a director, you look at it and you say, that is stunning. They say it's the greatest 2 minutes in sports, but this was. If you just Google, the 2009 Kentucky Derby, you'll see why we made this movie. So visually I found it so stunning. And then you go that extra step and say, obviously, you need a whole story. So I went down to Roswell, New Mexico, met the cowboys that train the horse, and that's what I found so fascinating is these three guys out of Roswell, New Mexico, which is not known for, the thoroughbred capital of the world, and they trained this horse up to the Derby, trailered it across the country, took on the best, and beat him. So I've always been a sucker for a great kind of dramatic sports story, and this was it. The picture pretty well wrote itself. I wrote it with Faith Conroy, my partner here, writing partner, and it's it just kind of fell together pretty nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the underdog story, and horse racing is a big deal here in Wyoming as well. You answered one of my questions, and that was, are you a horse racing fan? I take it you obviously are. Have you ever done a horse racing movie before, or was this kind of a new adventure for you?
I haven't ever done that. I did. Obviously, I've worked between Dances with Wolves. I worked with a lot of horses. That was the first time I had to put together, besides a couple thousand buffalo, I had to wrangle a lot of horses. And I did The Postman. Wyatt Earp had a lot of horses in it. So, I've dealt with Westerns and produced a lot, but I've never done a horse race and made documentaries on the subject. But I wanted to do one of these before I quit the game,
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned a lot of big movies there. You've had quite the resume as far as being a producer and director. How does this movie differ from the works that you've done, and maybe some of your favorite films that you've worked on in the past, if you can narrow it down?
I think this differs in that this is more personal to me somehow because I do race horses, and I really fell in love with these cowboys and what they stood for, and it's this project that once we finished, we took it to the studios, and they said, we just don't want to make this. We're making Godzillas. We're making the big animated pictures. We don't have the time and/or money to do this. So you either give up or you strap up and you raise the money. So that's what we did. We raised the money. We went out and made it ourselves, shot it in the 3 states in 40 days, and came back and put it together. And then we decided to release it ourselves. We liked it enough and previewed it, and the audiences loved the film. So we said, we know we got a crowd pleaser, so it's incumbent upon us to release. So, that's what we're up to. Where does it rank? I'm certainly as passionate about this as I have been about any film I've made. But as a single experience, I'll still go back 25 years almost to Dances with Wolves, which for me, I was a pretty young guy, and it took me a couple of years to make that as well. And again, the studios didn't want the picture. No one wanted to fund it. So it harkens to what we're doing today. But as an all-in experience between developing that material, working with Kevin Costner, working with the Native Americans, and shot the whole picture in South Dakota, it's got to rank as probably the most old, the top notch of the films I've made to date.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't blame me there. I've never had the opportunity to be around a movie crew with a film premiering. What's the week been like for you? I imagine it's crazy with tons of press and any kind of film screenings.
Yeah, well, no, it is. There's a lot going on, and we're opening all around the country. So, you sort of pick and choose, and I don't know, I have an affinity for your neck of the woods, so I thought it'd be fun to call in and say hi, which I don't normally do on your big studio pictures, but on this, it is necessary to do. It's important to get people out and to see these kinds of films. So it's it doesn't stop, and it won't stop until Monday, and then you'll kind of look at the numbers on Monday. We get the 3-day totals, and they say, oops, you've blundered or you've done brilliantly, and so far so good. The indication is a good one.
Is there any kind of anticipation about the box office this weekend? Are you guys kind of nervous, biting the fingernails, hoping for a good turnout, or are you just kind of satisfied at this point knowing that you've made such a good film?
No, I think, look, we have our money in this. We got skin in the game, as they say. So, no, it is important that it does well. And you've always got to bite those nails a little bit. You can't get complacent, and it is important that people go. And if they do go, they enjoy it, they talk to others. So a lot of it's going to be predicated on word of mouth in the coming weeks. So, no, we do worry about it. I don't think I'd be human if I didn't. So, no, it's not just like, great, I'm glad I made it, and I don't care if anyone goes. No, I made it for a reason, and it should be seen on the big screen. It is. We shot in 3 states, and it's pretty magnificent in terms of the look. I mean, Churchill Downs, we shot back in Kentucky for weeks and recreated portions of the race, and shot in Los Angeles at Santa Anita, and shot all through New Mexico, and it's a very authentic picture. So it's I made it to be seen on the big screen.
Looking forward to it. Last question for you, Jim. It opens tomorrow here in Wyoming, opens this weekend. We hope everybody gets a chance to get out and see it. Is there anything the audience should know going in, anything that would benefit them going into this movie?
Yeah, I think, as sappy as it may sound, it really is about heart. I mean, if you watch the film and you just look at these characters and see where they came from and see where this horse came from. He's the diminutive little, 900-pound, skinny, crooked horse, and these cowboys were 50-1 as well. They were real long shots and down on their luck. And I think that, a lot of us, you wonder, do I take that shot? Do I take that gamble? Do I do that? And I just want to underline, take it. If you're on the fence about maybe trying something new, or do we belong, or something like that. These guys wondered too, and they took the jump, and it got them a long way. So it's just, it's follow that heart. It's what works.
Very well said. Jim Wilson, director of the new movie 50-1. Get out there and see it this weekend. Jim, congratulations on a great movie. We wish you a lot of success, and thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to visit with us.
You bet. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to get back up to Wyoming. So you'll see me sooner than later. Take care.